in Colorado right now, in our hotel. Let's see, we left on Saturday and it's Monday on Memorial Day. This is our last morning meds. We are actually probably going to trigger tonight. I tend to trigger a day early, so that's not a huge surprise for us, but really excited because things are going the best that they've ever gone for us during this process. So this is my last morning meds, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you and kind of tell you what's been going on. So we left. We started meds a week ago yesterday, a week ago Sunday, and did 2 injections a day up until about Friday. And then so we did 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. And on Friday we started a 3rd injection, so I do 2 in the mornings now and 1 in the evening. So I'm going to just show that. I have all of my things organized in here. My Minipure was up here, but I also have a giant bag of syringes and everything else in here, and it fills up the whole bag. Sorry the lighting in here is so terrible. So I'm going to start with my Minipure. This is one of the shots I do in the morning. I need a needle and a needle to draw up the meds, so I'm going to use this. So this needle is kind of scary looking, but that is not the needle I'm using to inject. This is just the needle that I'm doing. I'm drawing up the medicine, and this is the needle that I'll use to inject. So you can see it's much smaller. So start with all of your stuff out, ready to go. And then just snap off the lids. Now remember, like I mentioned before, everybody's protocol is different, and so this may not be what your doctor wants you to do. Make sure you follow what your doctor says, not what I say. I just am telling you what I do. So I'm going to start by pulling up a milliliter of diluent. And I really struggle with having lots of air in my syringes, so I do this 15 times and work really hard to get all the bubbles out. And I think I'm pretty close to 1. And then take your Minipure, and this is just a powder. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a powder, and as soon as you stick the diluent in there, it dissolves. And then you just kind of swirl it around, make sure it's mixed up really good. And this is where I do things wrong, but it works for me. I feel like you can't even see me. This is terrible lighting. You're supposed to turn your vial upside down, but I can never get everything I need, or all of the medicine, I don't feel like, when I do that, so I don't. I just find where the slanted part of my needle is, and I put it against the vial in like a corner and draw it up, and I end up drawing up lots of air that I just push out later. So that's the easiest way for me to do that. And then I just push it up, make sure all the bubbles are out. So scary needle is going to go away. It's going in my sharps container. Michael got these, even though I can't eat them, they have chocolate in them. That's one of the other things, is there's no caffeine, there's no chocolate, there's no soda, there's no coffee, and there's no alcohol. There's also no getting your heart rate up, so lots of restrictions for a couple of weeks. So now I've got less scary needle on. I'm going to make sure that there's no air bubbles. This one looks really good, and I'm going to push up until I see a drop of medicine. I don't know if you saw that drop of medicine. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick myself. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you the injection, but don't judge here. As this process has gone on and the more injections I've done, my tummy starts to look, I don't know if you can see that, poked at and bruised, and that actually doesn't look too terrible. So that's one injection I have ready to go. The other injection has to be in the fridge. one's called Cetratide. Now, the Menopure that I'm going to do, that one stings when I put it in. I'm not going to lie, it isn't comfortable. The Cetratide comes in a pack, and it's super easy. You do the exact same thing. It has the syringe, except instead of pulling up diluent, it's already in there, and you just put it in the powder. And then it's got a scary needle that you draw it up, and it's got a less scary needle that you stick yourself. So we'll do both of those. The Cetratide, when I did it the first time of every cycle I do that, I get my stomach gets it right where the injection site is. It's a big giant welt, and it itches really bad, but it goes away, and then after the first time, it doesn't bother me anymore. So we are going to be triggering tonight, and I'll show you what the trigger shot looks like, and then we'll retrieve on Wednesday. So just a couple of days, and we'll finish our last retrieval. Bear's making his debut. So that's morning meds and the process that we've been going through since our stim meds started.